Alright, let's try this again. See how it goes this time. Okay, flashpoint. They always come in here and say the same thing. I'm just finishing my shift, I've noticed. Anyway. Hope you're all well. Yeah, pattern, yeah. So I notice patterns and stuff. Alright. I hope you're doing well anyway. I don't know. But sometimes it's just dead, and then if I restart it, sometimes it pushes it out a bit more, so just gotta do it sometimes. That's what it is, just gotta, you know. Yeah. No, it's not sunny here. It's just kind of dull today. Yeah, it's kind of dull. Might look brighter than what it is. It's kind of just dull. Might be just the camera that makes it look bright, but it's kind of dull here at the moment. It's overcast. But anyway. Yeah, it's just this time of year, just kind of usually miserable, but it is what it is. I don't know. Hello, Annie, how you doing? Hello, fun. Be good once, spring comes and it. Temperature, I don't know. Let's have a look. I was trying to ask if you added any words to the blacklist. You can disrupt the flow of the trolls and time. I mean, I could do. I'll have to have a look into that, but yeah. 8 degrees at the moment, apparently, but tomorrow it's meant to apparently snow. We'll see about that, but it's saying it could possibly snow, but yeah, like tomorrow night or something, and then Friday or something, but we'll see, you know. We'll see. But it's looking like it's going to be pretty cold the next few days or something. But anyway, I'm from the UK. Welcome back, Crazy Edits. What's FDR? FDR. Roosevelt, oh yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, you could probably say like maybe the Austrian painter, but then I've heard that Stalin was responsible for more bad. So it's one of those things that's like, it's hard to really say. Oh, really? Hello, Julie is silly. How you doing? Okay, thank you, user. I'll probably start adding a couple more mods soon, because like I said, it just ruins the chat when you get all these wankers coming in and stuff, but just takes the fun out of it. But I mean, yeah, you could disrupt the trolls with blocked words. I don't know like what words I would block, because there'd be hundreds that I'd have to block. But I don't know, they might still try to find some other word to use instead. So then you just kind of like, you know, shooting a moving target, as they say. Graham. Graham, the mocklemizing or whatever bullshit. Ban the word mocklemizer. What are they going to do then? You know what I mean? Anyway. I hope you're all well anyway. Yeah. Anyway, who we got in the live? We got 9 people apparently, but chat's kind of dead. I don't know. They'll have to find new ways to be trolls. They'll have to get creative. It reminds me of that video, sorry, that advert. Remember that Maltesers, where it goes, you'll have to find new ways to be naughty. No, I'm not Swedish. No, I'm British. You'll have to find new ways to be naughty. I remember there was one where there was where like the woman at work, and then she like flashed her bra at the guys or something. Like, yeah, it was just so it reminds me. Remember those Specsavers adverts? They were quite funny as well. Yeah. Diet Coke advert. I don't know that one. Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. Sweater and fleece. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was that in Arabic, you know. You learn something new every day. Yeah, you learn something new every day. Is everybody okay? Hope you're all having a good day so far. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Make sure you like the live. I'm not a fitness trainer, no, but I do talk about fitness and I do fitness. Now, sometimes I can give tips out if people are interested, but a little epicness. No, I'm going to take Greenland. Who do you think you are? I am going to take Greenland. Nice try, sucker. Oh man, that's such a good impression. Hello, Madus and Hazori. How are you doing today? Hope you're well. Neutral Iceland. You mean because Iceland was neutral in the war? I've heard Switzerland was neutral in the war. Well, apparently it's dodgy, like all the Swiss banks and stuff, and they just like, yeah. You know what I mean? Love you. Alright. Thank you. How is it with these comments? Oh goodness. Anyway. Hope you're all well today. German. Oh yeah, really? Okay. Everybody doing alright today then? I'm probably gonna go to the gym later. Hello Sophia, good to see you. How are you doing today? Hope you well. You was live before, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's been good to meet you guys at over on what's it's live on Lions, whatever its name was again. They sent dozens of peace. Really, I don't know. There was You mean like the people of Germany, they didn't want to like go to war, you're saying? It was the Austrian painter that, kind of, yeah. Do I cycle? I used to, but I haven't done for a while. I've been doing a lot of calisthenics training and stuff like that recently. Yeah, Alliance Live. Yeah, we're talking about spirituality and stuff like that. So I was looking into some like Rupert Sheldrake and Terence McKenna and stuff. And like, yeah, I don't know, there's some things I'm not 100% sure about, like, for example, the other thing of Rupert Sheldrake's theory on vision, that you see things where they actually are. Do you remember that? That's what his theory is, that when you see an object, that you aren't seeing it inside your head, you're actually seeing it where it actually is. I'm like, but how could I know that? I mean, it's just, because like, say if you're wearing a VR headset, for example, you're going to see, it's going to appear like you're looking at something far away because of depth perception, in terms of like, things appear to get smaller as they go, away from you, but that's all the image that your brain creates. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but it's yeah, it's mind-boggling. I mean, I've been considering things like this whole thing called spiritual non-duality. Like, it's this whole idea that what if there is only one soul in the universe, and it's like and I know you talk about duality, but maybe in an absolute sense it's one sort of thing. Anyway, my joint too much from calisthenics, but I love endurance cycling. I often do 200 km trips. So cool. I don't know, maybe with the joints and stuff, was that possibly bad form or something, or maybe overtraining? I don't know, but I would have thought joints can improve if you do it the right way or something. I don't know, maybe everybody's different, but you have to be careful with making sure you're not hurting your joints. But I've heard though that doing partial reps might actually be good, like not locking out on every single rep might be a good idea. For example, if you're doing push-ups, some say that doing partials might be better for the joints. I'll have to look more into that though, but yeah. Topic, I talk different things and stuff. You can strengthen joints, apparently. Not got that stuff yet. Not got to that stuff yet. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, there's things that you can do, like specific type of training. I've heard plyometrics is supposed to be good if you just incorporate that, not all the time, but like if you do a mix of plyometrics and other stuff. But yeah, because it's like whatever you do, like you're gonna get stronger at it, sort of thing. It's like, so if there's like a lot of impact in your body, they'll adapt to that type of training to make your joints stronger. As long as you're not overdoing it. It's overuse injury that I think a lot of it is caused by. But anyway, I keep jumping from topic to topic here. It's I try, but it's way too painful. Not the muscle. I don't mind it, but the actual joints. I don't know then. I mean, because like I don't know how exactly you was training it, and whether like I don't know. There's different factors that can go into it, but yeah, hello Aruvi. Was you warming up before working out? Because I've heard that if you don't warm up, then it could end up causing joint problems potentially. Because I noticed like my shoulder was fucked when I didn't try to warm up for certain exercises that were very strenuous on the shoulders, for example. That's somewhere that can get a lot of injuries and stuff. So. No, I'm not running for president now. Are you still there, Sophia? Hello, Aruvi. What's that? We talk about all sorts of things on here, really. I was working on... What's this? I don't know what that is, but... Okay, cool. Yeah. Anyway, hi, Sherbear. How you doing? You alright? Did you know there are beautiful women in all races from around the world? Yes, that's true. Yeah, so... But yeah, talking about reality and all that, and I do get what you're saying with like duality. There's this whole thing of like yin yang, and part of me thinks that like there's something special about the sun and the moon, right? When you look at the sun and moon, it's like it kind of looks like they're, you know, kind of. It's almost like the two sides of the same coin kind of thing, or whatever you want to call it. Like they are equal opposites. They are a kind of, one's a, you know, warm, glowing energy, and then the other one's this cool, dull energy or something, like a sort of yin-yang, masculine, feminine sort of thing. And it's like, because they both appear about the same size. And that's supposed to just be some kind of coincidence, and I'm thinking, is that really a coincidence? You know, that's one thing that makes me think, maybe, I'm not saying that there's a God in the biblical sense or anything. It's just, when I look at that, I'm like, wow, that is crazy. When you see like an eclipse, for example, it's just kind of surreal in a way. It's like, I don't know. It's, oh yeah, Deep Chat Shopper, I've heard about that. But the thing with darkness is it's just a lack of light, that's the thing. And cold is a lack of heat. So it's just two extremes of the same thing. Basically, it's like you've got a lack of something or you have a lot of something, if you get me. A little logic acts. It's like, I mean, you could say about up and down, that's, you know, but they are, but it's just, well, up and down is direction. So it's like this whole idea of, it's duality, but it's also oneness at the same time. It sounds like a contradiction, but reality can be quite contradicting. I guess it's the whole thing of quantum, like when we talk about the 0 and 1, because there's that whole duality, like the binary code of digital computers and whatever, and technology. But what they're saying is that, because I was saying about, you know, like what is the next age going to be? Because we talk about the analog age and then the digital age. What's after that? I think the quantum age is next, where we've got, say, because apparently with quantum age, it can be both 0 and 1 at the same time. So it's, yeah, it's kind of like, sounds like, how is that even, it's like a paradox in a way. It's, yeah. What's the topic? We're just kind of switching from topics at the moment, but basically at the moment I'm just talking about basically like how the quantum computers work and how they could solve problems much faster. And some reckon that might be where, I don't know whether this could ever happen, but this is what Rupert Sheldrake was saying about the only way that he reckons that AI could ever become sentient is in quantum computing, but I don't know if that's even possible, because it's still not an organic you know, thing. It's like, it's still a computer, it's still a man-made object or something. So I don't think that it's ever going to be sentient. What do you guys think? I mean, do you think that, because people are saying, oh, what if robots become sentient? I mean, does that really make any sense? Do you think the robots could ever, you know, have any sort of mind of their own? Like, I don't know. Like, it sounds a bit kind of like science fiction stuff, but then people might have said that the whole AI stuff was science fiction at one point. But it's not organic, so it can never be sentient. What we even contemplated is disturbing. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't believe that it could ever be sentient. It's like people thinking that you can upload your consciousness into a computer. I just don't believe that. Hello, goldfish. It starts them going underground. Oh yeah. Robots and computers have programming constraints. Terminator was not a documentary. Yeah. So like, people take things like, to like, oh, this means that we could end up with like, you know, like sentient computers, because like they take films like they're real. That's the problem. Hello, Ariel Fish. Oh yeah, I've seen about that. LF OF bots and OF deep fakes and all that kind of stuff. It's just, and some people will buy into it, you know. Hello, rag pudding. Robocop was sentient. Oh yeah. Robots and computers. Oh yeah, I just read that one. I can't believe how much money OF makes. I know it's crazy. Wasn't there one called, I can't remember her name, but she made over $40 million in a year from simps on OnlyFans. Yeah, it's just mental, isn't it? That you know what I mean? Hello, MT79. Oh goodness. Yeah. But by the way, if we want to be logical, you can't know if something is conscious, just like now you can't know if I am. That's what I've been kind of contemplating, to be honest. Because what if everything's just some kind of projection of yourself, of your own consciousness? I mean, but then that's like solipsism, so... But I was thinking of it more in a sort of metaphysical sense, like everybody else is just part of the same unified consciousness field. That was something that Schrödinger actually believed in, that the total number of souls in the universe is one. I mean, so what if everything that you see is just another reality? It's just some other version of yourself and from a different perspective or something. Blair with TBI decide where our money goes. Oh yeah, what's TBI? But yeah, Blair was partly responsible for all the Iraq war, wasn't he? So Blair and Bush at the time, you know, it was just all that, you know, like weapons of mass destruction crap, you know. Oh, Tony Blair Institute. Oh yeah. Yeah, they were like, it's just, like they just tried to like convince everybody that, oh, there's a threat of weapons of mass destruction. This is why I would never like join the military, because they can just basically try to convince people into doing stuff that is an absolute kind of, genocide, basically. Why would anyone want to do that unless they're just completely brainwashed? Have you read Kabbalion? A study of Hermetic philosophy of ancient Egypt and Greece. It's a book originally published in 1908. 3 initiates. No, I have not. I have heard about Hermeticism and stuff, but yeah. Hermetic principles and all that. But I need to look more into it. There's a lot of like mystic religions and stuff, like Hermeticism, and what else is there? Like Sufism and stuff like that. And I actually knew someone that was actually thinking that it was into Sufism. What's that? Yeah, I'll have to read it, yeah. Every community is manipulative. They want you to do what they want. Well, yeah, there is that, you know. It's just, everybody has their own kind of, like, tribe, and it's like, if you have to kind of fall in line with that. That's why maybe in some cases being a lone wolf is better, you know, because you make your own rules. You know, you're not there to answer to anybody. But some might say that being in a group gives you more security. Like, back in the day, like when we were, you know, when we were in these tribes and stuff, if you got kicked out of that tribe, you were basically like pretty much as good as dead at that point, you know? Like, because, you know, you were pretty much at a point where you were very, very vulnerable and you didn't have maybe access to resources and stuff, and so that might be, so I don't know if there's some kind of evolutionary psychology that that people have, that this is why they are so afraid of being ostracized from some group, that they desperately try to kind of appease the group or something. I remember the principle of mentalism from the Kabbalion. It's been years since I've read it though. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into a lot of this stuff because there might be some good things. I mean, I've been listening to some of the stuff like Alan Watts and stuff like that, and trying to gain more perspective on philosophy and things like that. So, but yeah. Okay. I might start giving out some more Spanish soon, but hang on a second. Morals are common sense, but not common behavior. Only believe yourself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the world is mental. It's yeah, but a lot of it's, you know, you could say is partly it could be low things like that. Well, Rupert Sheldrake's theory on evolution is it comes from basically acquired traits. So, for example, people who, you know, like they pick up certain traits in their life, like you could say it's like genetic, whatever they call it, or things like that, whatever they call it, like what's the word, like gene expression. I mean, yeah, like they express things in a certain way. Then when they have a child, then they're more likely to express that, and then over time it can be more and more pronounced as the generations pass on. They pass on these traits that they've acquired over time. So, like, the question is evolution completely random? Because that's what they say, is that it's just completely just random chance. But is some of the evolution has to do with, like, say, you know, acquired traits? Because sometimes, like, throughout your life, the body can adapt to certain things. Like, for example, if you're in a colder environment, it becomes more cold adapted. And then when you have a child, that you're passing on those, like, epigenetics and stuff, and more kind of, you know, sort of influence their genetics in the future, sort of thing. Second nature habits. So yeah, epigenetics. Yeah, that's something that. Hang on a second. Something that is. Yeah, morphic resonance. Yeah. So I was looking into the morphic resonance, but it's kind of like poo-pooed by, like, scientists and stuff, saying, oh, you know, it's all BS. It's like, oh, it's all just some kind of mystical BS. But this is why he was saying, like, the dogmas of science, because they just kind of, they have all these assumptions, like, they think that, they're even trying to go as far as to say that consciousness exists or something kind of weird like that. Or, I mean, they have a lot of preconceived ideas of, like when they said that the universal laws are constant and all that, and energy can only be transformed and not destroyed. Yeah, I've heard about that. That's what people are saying about consciousness, is that that's being transferred to another host or something at death. Like when the body can no longer support the, you know, consciousness anymore, then it sort of transfers to a new host, is the theory. Now some might say, well, that's just some kind of BS or something, but I was thinking about, like, this whole biocentrism theory and consciousness first, in that, like, what exists without consciousness? Because, like, for example, the color red needs an observer to see it. So we need observers to see light and hear sounds and smells and tastes and stuff like that. And, like, otherwise, it doesn't have any real existence, I would argue. It's hello, Payfi. Yeah, nothing exists without souls.
or a soul. So someone was trying to like come up with the argument yesterday, oh well, you didn't somebody build your house, did you? So therefore, it's like, well, that just doesn't really kind of, obviously somebody had to have built it, right? You know, it's just, so I don't know what their point was on that. Like, it just sounded a bit of a fallacious argument. Nothing and everything, can you explain what you mean by that? I mean, all it is just probabilities. Like, with quantum physics, the observer collapses the wave into a particle. But what is a wave even without somebody to witness a wave? You know what I mean? Well, if you've got nothing good to say, just, you know what I mean? What's that? We are one, but living it throughout your perspective. That's what I'm thinking about in terms of, it's kind of like a paradox in a sense, like I said, when you realize that, it's because it comes down to like the ego and like your perception of yourself. If you are part of some kind of unified field, then the you is actually just a reflection of a bigger picture. So what's that? We're just one consciousness split it fractal pieces of that. We are our third observer observing the observed. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking about when we're looking at the observed. We're actually looking at ourselves maybe in another lifetime. You know, how about that, eh? You know, like, when we see, you know, let's say if we're causing suffering, what if we're actually causing suffering to ourselves? Let's say you know, like, attack somebody or something, for example. Not saying that any of you would, but let's say hypothetically you did. That what if it's yourself that you're attacking? So this is what God or gods. I mean, I don't believe in God in the biblical sense or anything, or any kind of religious sense. I see that maybe we are God. How about that? That we are. I mean, could there actually be such a thing as gods, or is that like a contradiction? Because how can God be plural? Because the idea of God is this kind of infinite thing, or whatever, or the Almighty. There is no such thing as multiple Almighties, from what I understand. Like, how could you have multiple gods? You could say, well, there's multiple higher beings, but would you really call them gods? You could say multiple creators, but some people would see God as like the Almighty, not plural. So, yeah. No, I'm not from Israel, I'm from England. Yeah, Sophie, are you still there? Is Lions coming in? Maybe like you guys can share me out or something and try and bring some people in or something, but anyway. Oh, Joshua, no. Trickery by the Sky Watchers. Alright, in about... I was thinking Sky Watchers, like people who are doing stargazing or something, or like, you know, looking at constellations and things, and I don't know what you mean, like, what's your question? Hang on. Sorry, what? Doesn't true free will come from multiple gods and multiple paths? How can one God give you free will if he punishes you to hell for having it? Good question. My answer to that would be, what if there is no God giving you free will, and it's up to ourselves to decide, maybe, I don't know, that the idea of God as being this kind of unified consciousness, but it's up to us to just kind of make the best of what we can do, really, instead of holding out for some kind of like mystical God out there that we can't see or whatever. But that's my take on it anyway, but to each their own. Bill Bradford. Well, I've heard about, Skywatchers, Aliens, and Anunnaki. I've heard about Anunnaki and stuff, and people were saying that they built the pyramids. What are your thoughts on that? Who built the pyramids, and for what reason? Because I've seen a lot of different theories on it. People saying that ancient technology was used to build the pyramids, or some kind of extraterrestrial beings built the pyramids. So what is going on with all that? I mean, I have seen some theories that pulleys were used to build the pyramids. Does that make sense? But why were they actually built is the question, though. Some people say, oh, it was to people thought it was about putting the putting the was it the pharaohs in, but was it Tutankhamun or whatever it was? I mean, but a lot of them were put in the Valley of the Kings, whatever it was called. We are terrestrials. Well, I'm talking about other beings, like extraterrestrials, as in beings from other planets. Are they, kind of responsible? I mean, that just I've seen some stuff like friggin', what was it called, History Channel. So I remember I think there was one on crop circles or something. Have you seen all that on crop circles? I watched some documentary where there was somebody got some film, and this was done with like old text, so it was hard to say that it could just be fake. It looked pretty real, like it looked like there was some orb flying over it or something, and I mean it's hard to believe that it could just be some doctored footage or something of it. So what is going on with the crop circles? Why are they building them? Or why are they making them? I mean, whoever's doing it. Is it some government technology? That's what some people believe it might be. Some kind of... I mean, for what though? Is it some kind of psyop or something? I don't know. Messages. So you think it's messages from who? And the thing is, what I was saying, like, if there is aliens, why don't we see them? Like, why don't they ever land on Earth? Like, is the government trying to stop them, or like people saying that they see UFOs, or UAPs now, that they call them that now apparently, but why don't they ever land? I mean, why don't we ever, people, sighting UFOs all the apparently, where are they all? Why don't we ever see them landing? Why don't you hear someone getting abducted by aliens or something, or whatever? I mean, touched on a few things, yeah. But why don't we get them landing on Earth? Some might say, oh, they have no reason to, or something. So all this time, and people seeing all these UFOs out there, and none of them have ever landed on Earth that we know. It just seems a bit hard to believe when, if we've never seen any of them actually land. But I'm just wondering what you guys' explanation would be for that. Now, some might be like, oh, well, the Earth is just so kind of shit that people are so kind of, they're destroying the Earth, blah, 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 and they have no reason to want to have anything to do with us. I mean, I just find that explanation a bit kind of hard to believe. Oh, the Potter. I mean, they were here before us, so why don't we ever see them coming back then? Is it so they went to another planet or something and then fucked us off? Is that what happened? I mean, they just like thought, oh yeah, we're gonna leave Earth now. Goodbye. But did they leave? Maybe This is actually a theory, because some people talk about the biblical flood, right? So this could be a theory that some people managed to escape Earth before the flood, and then and then like they just kind of thought, fuck, we're getting out of here. I don't know. It's just a thought that came to my head. We explored 5% of the seas. There's that whole like Atlantis legend, they call it, and some believe that there's actually something going on down there, but the official narrative is it's just a legend and not actually a thing. But we won't know unless we go down there. Some might compare that to like Loch Ness Monster or something, because that was kind of like a legend of. I guess it's just one of those things you could never disprove it because no matter what you do to try and argue against it, it would be like, oh well, it's just maybe it's just hiding. Maybe it doesn't want to be found. Boris says like Bigfoot. Oh yeah, Bigfoot. Yeah, there was that whole Sasquatch thing in it, and people apparently sighting it in the woods and stuff. And yeah, I've seen some like people were saying that they saw Bigfoot, but it's like ghosts even. It's like I mean I haven't seen any of that. I was living in a house where somebody had actually passed away, but I didn't actually see anything. Maybe it was just, I don't know. I'm just a bit skeptical, that's all. It's just, I've heard of Zachariah Sitchin, so yeah, I've just never really looked into his stuff. I mean, is that I don't know exactly much about it, but I need to look into some of these sort of people and try and get more clued up on a more kind of alternative history and other things like that. And didn't Sitchin claim humans were genetically manipulated to mine gold for the Anunnaki overlords? Yeah, there's the theory of that we're being farmed or something. Sometimes it feels like this is some kind of farm that we're living on or something, that we're being harvested, that our energy is being harvested somewhere. Like, because like with all this work that people produce, and then a lot of it just feels wasteful, like it's being harvested by something secret. I mean, you just never know what's going on, like, with the world. Like, yeah. Please do what? Sorry. Yes, more or less. What's that? Hang on. Oh, you're on about 12th planet, and there's like 8 planets or something. But then there used to be 9 planets, and then it got changed to like Pluto got changed to like be a planet anymore. They call it like a dwarf planet or a planetoid, because it doesn't have the same orbit. It's as the other planets. Anyway, lazy aliens. Yeah, but it's like, why don't aliens ever land? Let's have a look and see what AI comes up with, because it isn't always reliable. But let's just see what it says. Let's put in let's just put into the what's this? What was it? I was gonna put like they couldn't be fucked some days. Oh yeah. Let's just see what it says. If aliens are real, why don't they ever land on Earth?
See what it says. If aliens are real, the lack of land on Earth is likely due to the immense distances of space, the rarity of intelligent. Let's just put UFOs because UFOs. Hello, Mezzo. Whatever. If people want to think it's bollocks, then just scroll on past, you know what I mean? Thank you, Carol. So, yeah, I've heard of this thing called the zoo hypothesis. So this is, I think, advanced civilizations might be observing Earth from afar, similar to researchers watching animals in a wildlife refuge, purposefully avoiding direct contact to allow us to develop naturally. Yeah, that's an interesting theory, isn't it? Okay, so see you later then, Mezzo. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the zoo hypothesis. So that's the thing of like that they don't want to like something about that they don't want to. There's this whole thing of like this, like one way of interpreting the whole eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil or something, that maybe we're supposed to go through all the trials and tribulations to learn things, but maybe if there's some more advanced species out there, then they don't want us to like, you know, just then we have to learn things is I think what it's saying. We have to develop naturally instead of taking shortcuts. We share more genes with aquatic land than land, really. I didn't know that, but yeah. Well, they do say that we share most of our DNA with like apes, like 98%, whatever it is. Oh no, that's not good, Macau man. What's a good salary in the UK? I mean, probably about 50 grand a year, probably, or more. Like, that would be like above average, anyway, depending on where you live. Because it's like, they take quite a bit of tax off your money, especially once you start earning that much, so. Yeah, well, I mean, like, in pounds, I mean, it's, yeah. Because at 50,000, you're already losing probably about a quarter of that in tax. Let's have a look. How much of a 50k salary is lost in tax? Let's have a look, see what they're saying in the chat. Maybe they don't want to contaminate themselves with us. Maybe. Is it to do with, are you talking about like, there could be things like germs and things like that that we are not immune to? That's a theory, isn't it? Yeah, what if they don't want to, yeah, risk, like, because imagine if we went to another planet, hypothetically it had germs that we had no immunity to, we could end up just, yeah, that's like, you know what I mean? Hello, Jimmy, okay. So that means that we could be, could that potentially mean that we're stuck here on Earth unless we find a planet that's not got any life on it or something, and and it's sterile or something? But I don't know. That is a good question about, yeah, like the Spanish flu. Yeah, because yeah, but when that came out, like nobody really had any immunity, and a lot of, oh yeah, taking out the Amazon. Oh yeah. Amazon, you mean like Amazon rainforest? Seems like they were more concerned with not interfering with the lesser civilizations, well viewed and spreading germs, probably. That's the theory anyway that it says on here about the zoo hypothesis. So here's one: technological superiority and surveillance. If they are advanced, they may not need to land to gather information. They might be using remote observation technologies that we cannot detect. rendering a physical landing unnecessary. The prime directive ethical concerns, similar to fictional scenarios, advanced beings might have ethical guidelines prohibiting interference with less advanced civilizations to prevent cultural or technological collapse. And then we've got interstellar distances. Even if they exist, the immense distances between stars will make traveling to Earth a massive, possibly impractical undertaking. Physical differences habitat. They might not be able to survive in our atmosphere, or may prefer to live on icy moons or in space rather than on a planet's surface. And the Great Filter. This theory suggests that most civilizations destroy themselves through environmental collapse or war before they can achieve interstellar travel, meaning any that survive may be rare and cautious. We are not interesting or not intelligent enough. They might find us to be uninteresting, not worth interacting with, or simply too primitive to communicate with. So is this what's happening? If there is such a thing as UFOs, that they're just kind of monitoring us, but then we're saying that they might actually be able to monitor from afar. So do they actually need to use UFOs? Hello, Prophet Muhammad, how you doing? Hope you're doing well today, everybody. So that gives some explanations of why potentially they might not have come to. Maybe if they were a lot more advanced. But my thoughts are, what if they're nothing like anything that you could ever imagine? Like, for example, they might be made out of fucking plasma or something. Like, they could be a completely different, nothing like any of the animals on Earth, is how I'm thinking. Like, what would be the chances that if there is some aliens out there, that they could be completely different to anything that we can imagine? Like, they might not even have the same kind of senses that we do. Oh, right, I thought you was on about the aliens. I thought you were talking about aliens or something, that they're laughing at us or something, or... I mean, I'm just talking about stuff, I'm just kind of speculating, that's all, I mean... But, yeah... I don't know, but anyway. Hope everyone's well anyway. What are you talking about? Okay, Fork 2024, so yeah. Sophia, are you still there? What's more likely? What do you mean, what's more likely? Open discussion. That's what it is, we're here to have an open discussion and not leave anything off the table, because I think it's good to be willing to go down different avenues of thoughts and explore different, thought experiments and what have you. I mean, just because you talk about something doesn't mean that you're crazy or anything like that. Yeah, I saw this thing from 1997 that was like a convincing video on UFO sighting. You saw a UFO yesterday. Why did you not capture it or something? Okay, see you later, Carol. Decide for yourself whether he's credible. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, it's like, what is it? It's the thing of what they call condemnation without investigation is the height of ignorance. So if you're just going to ridicule something without even really looking into it, then you're just being ignorant then, aren't you? You have to really take the time to look into something before really jump into conclusions that someone's crazy or whatever. So that's the thing, right? It's like with the religion and stuff like that, it's like, well, I haven't really looked into it enough to say that it's all BS or anything, but I challenge people's preconceived ideas and whatever, about, say, free will and things like that, and God gave people free will. It's just, I mean, when they say that, I'm like, well, they use that to justify suffering, It's like, I would think about things in a way like, why is there all this suffering on Earth? Some say it's as part of some of our development, but I was thinking if there is this infinite God out there that can do anything, that can make anything happen, then why not make us to be in paradise? Why do we have to earn it? Like, why do we have to earn it if he can do anything? Isn't that kind of like a cycle that you would make someone have to go through suffering just to be able to earn a reward? You know what I mean? Like, he can do anything he wants. Like, why not just create everyone to already be in paradise? But then it's like, well, happiness is, on a like biological level, happiness has to do with hormones. So why not create us to always feel those hormones of happiness and joy? You know what I mean? Like, does there need to be an opposite in that? Jesus isn't God. Yeah, some people believe Jesus actually is God and the Son of God at the same time. It's really confusing, but Truth Council. Okay, welcome back. Yeah. So, what's that? Wouldn't it be more accurate to say everyone's beliefs are their own, but truth is universal? Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like when people say everyone has their own truth, but it's like, well, how can everyone have their own truth unless everyone's living in their own subjective reality? But there is a certain objectivity to reality. Now, you could argue about someone's subjective perception of, like, the color red, for example. I don't know if your version of the color red is the same as mine. See what you're saying, and yes, so what you're saying, like, in terms of, like, suffering and things like that, I mean, this is why I don't believe in, say, like, an all-loving God that's all-powerful at the same time. Because how can somebody be all-loving and all-powerful but allow suffering? They say, oh, well, we gave Satan dominion over the earth. Why? You know, doesn't that just make him as bad then? It all just sounds really contradicting to me. Like, if someone's done evil, why continue to let them do evil? Is he not as powerful as they make out then, or something? Because they say, oh, that Satan's going to send you to hell or something, or whatever. And I mean, human minds are limited, yeah. It's just, yeah, I mean, we are limited. This is why I try to keep an open mind, because I can't understand the reality, the reality of the universe, because it's very difficult to wrap your head around it. Yes, I'm doing fine, thank you, M. Wells. How are you doing today? Hope you're well. You start thinking deeper about these sort of things, and then you come to the conclusion that we don't really know, do we? Because someone was saying that, have you ever, like, had a conversation and then it kind of comes full circle back to, we don't have a clue, do we? Like, if you're actually being really honest with yourself, we don't have a clue how this thing really works. It's just there's a lot of scientists out there that want to think that they know everything and that they know how the universe works, and it just, life just spawned into existence through evolution, but they can't explain how that actually happens. I don't know anything, but I believe everything. Why would you believe everything? Isn't that kind of like some might say, like, but belief is a placeholder for knowledge. But if you believe everything, then nothing can't exist or something. We don't even know 1%. Yeah, it's like the like. Have you ever seen that iceberg meme with the it's like you only see like 10% at the top, kind of like the dark web and the deep web and all that, right? We just see the surface level, and there's a lot more going on beneath the surface of what we can understand. there's no religion except humanity, which is pre-installed. Yeah, humanity. So you say humanity is a religion. Does humanity have any sort of? Is it like an intrinsic property of humans, or is humanity just something that is a learnt behavior? Is the question. Hello, Kian Moriarty. What's wrong? Sorry, what's an oxymoron? So let's have a look at and find out about what was I going to look at. So yeah, is like morality innate or learned is the question. I make inferences that other people generally experience things like hunger, tiredness, cold, and so on in a similar manner to my own. There's no way to prove this, but it seems like a reasonable inference. Yeah, I mean, we all experience like things on a hormonal level. Like we can all kind of share certain things like hunger, thirst, like all these primal things that the body like cries out for. Like even things like love is something that we probably all experience something like in our life. There's a thing called oxytocin, which is the pair bonding hormone. So we all have certain things that we are biologically wired to experience. I've never blocked somebody in a chat. Oh god. So you're blocking people from this chat or something. But yeah, people can like block other people so they don't see their annoying comments and stuff. But let's see. So morality is considered a synthesis of both innate biological predispositions, learnt cultural, social, and environmental factors. So basically, you could say it's a duel of, hello Squiggly, how you doing? A duel of, say, both nature and nurture. So in terms of like, no, that we are influenced both by nature and nurture. It's like when it comes to people's health that some people would argue like genetics play a part, but then your lifestyle is what like then kind of expresses those genes. So we might have certain genes that are predisposed to diabetes, for example, but then certain lifestyle things could, you know, there's a thing called epigenetics. So like, as in, if you have a certain lifestyle that then might that turn on that gene that causes those problems. Anyway, what's repetitive nonsense? What are you talking about? Yeah, the blacklist some words. I don't know. I mean, like, what words should I blacklist then? Can I do that right now? Let's go to like, is it community moderation, whatever it's called? I mean, there's like a. Let's see, what kind of. Yeah, what's the Assault on Truth book by Jeffrey Musaeff. Must read what's explain up. So what does that go into? Hello Jama. Hello Derp. Okay. I'll have to ban the word Epstein, I think, because yeah, that's one that they keep on. Yeah. Let's have a look. Where do I find it? I need to go to. Is it community? Not community. Which one will it be? Settings, won't it be that one? Community moderation, I think it was, wasn't it? And then you can go to like, is it content controls? Let's have a look. Blocked words. So let's put Epstein, and then we'll put sweat clothing. I'll put what other ones? Yeah. What other words shall we put? Let's try this now. Watch this. Right, so hopefully this will just kind of not be able to say that word again. I'm just going to time them out because they're just being stupid. So I've just done a few words. Trump, oh yeah, I do Donald Trump impressions, it's so tremendous. I think I do a great Donald Trump. You don't think it worked? Why not? Can anyone put in any of those words to see if it worked? Hello, Mike Piccolo. That's pretty good. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, all you tremendous, wonderful people. Here we go. Here's my Donald Trump. Here we go. Yeah. I'll have to just start adding a couple more mods, I think. So, yeah. Right. But I would just say time people out. Don't block them. I'll give it to Annie. So just kind of like, just don't block people. Just time them out if they start spamming and whatever. Because I've heard that blocking people doesn't help your channel. Apparently, it's just gonna. Yeah. So I would just say time them out if they get bad, just time them out for a whole day or something. Yeah, there we go. Because it doesn't seem like it's probably going to make that much of a difference. All they'll do is just, use code words instead to get around it. That's what I mean. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. You might slow them down a bit, but it's just, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, the orange makeup. I need to paint myself orange. The future is orange. Peanut butter. I love peanut butter. Yeah. What's the difference between peanut butter and jam? It's a bit of a vulgar one, so I'm not gonna. I don't know whether you guys would really appreciate it. But you can look it up if you're kind of. Tangerine Tyrant. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, how are we doing, everybody? Who takes a lot of vitamins? About Donald Trump or something? What's going on here? Hello, Heaven, how you doing? You weren't the first in today, I noticed. I noticed you was the first in chat for a while. Sophia, are you still there? Hey, stud, okay, thank you, Danny. Hello, Jammy. Difference between jam and jelly? I don't know what's the difference between jam and jelly. Go ahead. Yeah, Trump is a yuppie. Yeah, they're all part of the same kind of just elitist class, out of touch with your ordinary people. Are you making a coffee? Oh yeah, do you drink a lot of coffee? I mean, I've heard that you probably shouldn't drink coffee like too late in the day. So that's something I would recommend because I remember watching some podcasts of someone called Matt Walker, I think it was called. They were talking about sleep and the importance of it, and yeah, basically caffeine has a half-life of 6 hours. So yeah, so technically there's still some in your system up to 12 hours, I think, something like that. But that's just depends on what time you're going to bed and stuff. But depends on how much you do and stuff. I can drink it before bed, lol. Oh really? I've heard this thing, right? Apparently people with ADHD, that coffee actually calms them down. So it does the opposite in ADHD, apparently. Have you heard about that? I don't know if you believe in all that stuff, because some people say that ADHD doesn't exist.
Well, why is it that in certain people, like ADHD, that caffeine actually calms them down? So there's something obviously different there. That wouldn't that suggest that there's something different in the brain that is where it's having the opposite effect on them? ADHD, yeah. So you have ADHD, is it, or because yeah, it's supposed to calm you down with ADHD, but I'm on the autism spectrum, but I don't know if I might have ADHD as well, but at least I seem to have certain traits of it because I can be quite spontaneous and, like, for example, I'll come on a live stream and, like, I can't seem to stay on the same topic for very long. Like, that's just how I am. I'm quite sort of, I can be quite sporadic. Yeah, supposedly, yeah. So, what do you not have? Do you have ADHD, or do you not have a diagnosis, or what's? I've been what's that? M Wells. Yeah, just whatever. If they're gonna comment about how I'm dressed or whatever, then or whatever they want to comment about me, I'm just can't be arsed with it. Yeah, you can still live normally in some cases. It depends on how severe you have it. Some people really struggle with it. It's like OCD. I've got like OCD traits, but it doesn't affect me in a way that really affects my life. Yeah, I mean, I've grown out a lot of it, but yeah, some people really, they struggle with some of these things. So it depends on the individual, really. Oh yeah, Red Bulls. I have a medical diagnosis of ASD 2 and ADHD. What's 2? Not 6-7. Oh, good. I diagnosed myself and moved on. Oh yeah. A lot of people are diagnosing themselves. Some people are saying that autism and stuff like that is getting diagnosed too much maybe now. I don't know what to think, but there's some people that have like borderline symptoms and they're getting diagnosed. But I'm thinking, like, why would you need a diagnosis unless it's really like negatively impacting your life? I don't know, it just seems like, in some ways it kind of seems like a bandwagon. It's like a lot of people, you could argue most people almost have like borderline symptoms of something. So like, you know what I mean? I don't know what that is, but so you have like moderate symptoms, is that what it is? Crown symbol, I don't know what, it's just some kind of ranking thing, isn't it? Depending on how active you are in the chats, I think. Something like that, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, severity, yeah. So I'm planning to do something later, which is the assisted one-arm pull-up. I'm gonna see if I can do it. So we'll be putting a short out of that if I can do it. So I'm looking forward to sharing that. So I think it'll be pretty cool if I can do it. It's people who are neurodivergent. We think and process and react differently than others. Yeah. Yeah, it's just I don't really get the whole thing of keeping up with the Joneses and stuff like that. I don't know if that maybe is something that's common with people who are on the neurodiverse spectrum, that they have no like need to try and keep up with the Joneses. Like, I don't care about fitting into society. I just don't fit into society anyway, but I just don't really care to anyway, sort of thing. I don't really care to try to perform for society. Yeah, I don't care to do any of that. Hello, Luke. How you doing? I hope you're well today. I'm gifted but 51 and never been able to get anywhere, basically. I'm unemployable, resume-wise, despite being wicked smart with computers and science. Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? You talk about not much experience or something. Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah. So like, why is it, you know, you talk about resume or something like, as in you're talking like the CV and the what you use for your application for your jobs and stuff. Because the thing is the whole kind of catch-22 that people want experience, but then how do you get experience if you haven't had a job or something like that? Then they expect you to go into like, what is it, work experience or volunteering or something, and just basically be like almost like a slave essentially. Well, yeah, that is true. You can make money online. There is a lot of ways you can do that now. If you've got any talents, you should probably do that. Is that what some of you guys do? So I've seen some of you doing the arts and stuff, right? Do you guys sell your art and stuff, like in your crafts and things? I know Lions was doing these, like carving and stuff. Did they actually sell them or something? I was going to ask about that. Because there was that other one, was it called Bug or whatever? That they were making some like, what is it, poker chips or something. Do they sell that stuff? If you're there, so. Because I was thinking about doing some sea glass coasters and just selling it. You know, that might be an idea. Hello, Lawson. How you doing? Hello, Henry. Okay, can we just get rid of this nonsense? Get rid of Connor. Okay. No, I'm not divorced now. I'm single. I'm a bachelor. Not selling at the moment, just giving to friends. Okay, cool. Try to get the like reviews or something, I don't know. I suppose it's a tricky one, isn't it? That you just gotta try and get of support and kind of because you know, maybe like word of mouth could spread, and then like they could be, oh check this out, look at what they've made for me, and then they like tell other people about it, and then they might want to buy it then or something. Is that the plan, or is it just kind of more just doing it as a hobby without any intention of selling stuff? But yeah, it's money online, so you don't necessarily have to, you know, even go through like some job interview. There is ways of making money online, just doing a bunch of different tasks and different side gigs and stuff. I can even get paid to be like a mystery shopper, and sometimes you can actually get paid quite decently to do it. Like they might just have you do some job like checking that things are properly like properly located in a shop or something like that, for example. And they'll pay you like a few quid sometimes just to like send off a fucking photo of it or something, you know? So there is ways that you can make money online. Another one I would suggest, it's not really sustainable, but is matched betting. I mean, there is things like the bookmakers who will put out promotional offers. So there is actually a way to do it, right? Someone was telling me about this. Let's say, for example, you got Coral Casino or Ladbrokes Casino, whatever, right? What you do, you go into one of these shops, right, and you put on a bet on, say, like a game with this, and then what you do is you qualify for the free bet. But what you do is you do the opposite. Either a different account or whatever, or you can do it online. You basically lay in the bet is what they call it. Like you are betting against the outcome. There is a way to do that where you end up where it's technically not really gambling as such. As long as you know what you're doing, there's video tutorials on it, but yeah, some people have made thousands of pounds doing that stuff. Just from like taking advantage of free bets. Like I said, you can't do it forever, but it's not technically gambling, but I don't believe in doing gambling as like it's just very risky and all that, but it's a thing called match betting, but you might just, because it's still technically like you are supporting gambling, you could argue by doing it. I don't know. Oh yeah, Amazon store, yeah. I mean that's a good idea. But yeah, I just started up merch. I'm not thinking I've had anyone buy it yet, but I need to try and put out some more products and stuff. But yeah, yeah, for Amazon fulfillment they call it, isn't it? Yeah, that they'll fulfill the order or something. So all you have to do is just kind of list a product and then they'll fulfill it for you. So yeah. By the way, the thing you said about people having CS in India is true. With technical skills, they have good communication skills as well, right? Yeah, self-employed could be an idea, yeah. You could do like, working for yourself. One idea would be, well, this is seasonal, but cutting people's grass or cutting people's hedges, just whatever jobs that you can find. I mean, if you can say make like 20 quid an hour, let's say, that might be enough to for like, say, to tide you over for like colder months and stuff. But hello Nathan, good to see you. How you doing? I don't know if I've seen you in here before, but yeah, thank you for stopping by. I've seen you doing your fitness stuff, so yeah, welcome in. Thank you. Yeah. Have you been here before? I've seen you live, and there was I've seen you in Gravity's lives and stuff. Open your own cafe, yeah. Yeah, how are you gonna do that? You're gonna like rent one out or something and just it's easier said than done, but it is possible if you put your mind to it. I was thinking about getting some land at some point and just putting something on it, like maybe either a camper van or caravan or something, or static caravan. I don't drive, but if it's something I could just have it on my own bit of land or something and just kind of keep it there. But I mean, there is the whole planning permission thing, but I've heard that that's not that tricky. All right, yeah, you take care, Sophia. I'll see you again later. But yeah, there's just like you can make money basically. It's just once you get out of the scarcity mindset, then you can just open your mind up to just as long as you think that there is possibility, then there is. There's always possibilities to make money out there. I truly believe. If you really want to, then there is opportunities out there. A lot of people, they just kind of have this closed-mindedness where they're like, oh, I need to look for a job, and it's like they only think of it in terms of whatever's on the market in the job center. They can't think that some of them don't think about what about online, what about all the resources that's available. I mean, there is so much out there that you can do. It's pretty much endless. The trick I would say is not just relying on one income stream. It's more sustainable when you have multiple income streams. Some of it could be like passive income that you'd start to generate over time. Like, for example, if you've got, say, like a YouTube channel and you start making money from that, that could be seen as like a passive income, because it's just you just kind of documenting things and just kind of doing your passions and stuff. It's just going to be like a passive income. You're just, you're not really working. I would consider anything where you don't really feel like you're doing something that you don't really want to be doing as a passive income. If it's like, say, art creation, I'd consider that like a passive income. And you could say it's not, but it's like, if you're doing something you love, then it's not going to feel like work. Sure, if you don't, oh, how much it will work, what's that? Yeah, I don't think Coke's a good one. I think they're just taking the piss. Okay. Influences make it look easy. True. But it's having realistic expectations with it all. But a lot of it's going to be about kind of, like, if you can make your life inexpensive. This is why I was saying that maybe for certain people, they might want to live with their parents for a while just so that they can get themselves established with whatever it is that they're trying to do. Because they're going to be able to either save more money so that they can scale faster with something like a business, or they can spend more time on side hustles, and maybe they could just work part-time and then just focus more on their side hustle and try to turn that into a full-time business. So it can give you leverage by staying with your parents, I reckon. You know, if you just kind of like, yeah. Now, some people it's not ideal, I get that, but sometimes you got to think about, is it worth it in the long run just to kind of, because it'll give me a lot more freedom in the long run, I would argue. You know, if you are somebody that can stay with your parents, then you're sort of like, if you're somebody that's smart with your money and you can just, you're not just tempted to just kind of blow every penny up in smoke or something. Yeah. Well, there's that, I suppose, that can be difficult if you're trying to raise a kid yourself, but you got to be careful about, making sure that you don't get into these situations. Anybody that's watching, if you're not already in that situation, then you have to be somebody that can support yourself financially, I think. But yeah, anyway. I'm going to restart the live, I think, guys. Yeah. I'll see you all in a sec.